I'm so excited.
I know.
Don't you really like
and
this couch, though?
And
it's
at your
so
crib. This is so nice.
Right? This is my mom's shisha, bro.
Mama
Shout out to Mama Sabara. She was like, I'm going to live in elegance and I'm going to live in elegance my way.
They're like, this looks familiar.
If she ever watches it, I'm just going to hide this episode from her.
Yeah, I kind of just invited myself over and I was like, I'm podcasting tonight.
You're like, I'm coming over. And I was like, let me ask. And you were like, I'm on my way.
No, I was like, I am on my way.
You were like, I'm on my way. So you have 10 minutes to ask and 10 minutes to convince them if they say no that I'm coming anyways. So I was like, okay.
Are we intro? Is this like the intro or?
We can. I know.
Oh, this isn't we. I'm the guest, so you have to intro.
Oh, I have.
Oh.
Okay. So. Okay, you ready? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You get comfortable and then I'll intro us.
Okay. You could go right now.
Okay. Hey y'all, welcome back to Safe Space Podcast. We're your host. I'm Aicha Sabara.
Sydney Rosant.
And you know, our girl Lauryn is MIA, but she will be back.
She's in every time we like say like, oh, the thing is like we only have 3 episodes posted, so like we have so many low-key filmed
that they're like just like
they don't know all the Lauryn updates.
No, they don't, but it's okay.
I saw her last week for her birthday.
Our girl turned 21.
That was a time. She's in Cancun right now. So
that's crazy. I wish I was.
I feel like the next time we're gonna be like, yeah, Lauren's an astronaut. She's actually in outer space.
Lauren's an astronaut. So she will not be coming back. This has turned into the Moon Space Podcast.
Not the Moon Space. Not the outer space podcast.
He said, "Welcome aboard, all extraterrestrials."
I'm screaming.
No, but here we are to give you guys another podcast. I don't know what this podcast is about. As Cindy said, she just called me and was like, so can we podcast tonight? And I was like, I mean, I think so. And then she was like, okay, I'm on my way. And I was like, let me check if like my parents are fine with that. And she was like, even if they're not, I'm giving you a 10-minute buffer and I'll be there in like 15. And I was like, oh.
This is like the only time I'm ever on time either.
I know, she showed up on the dot. I was like, oh, I was like, she was serious.
And am.
And as she should
and
be.
Here we are.
But I don't know what this podcast is about.
And you don't.
What is wrong with you? I like just said that. Yeah, I have no idea what this podcast is about. So you can.
What if I just like sat here silent? For like an hour,
I would fist fight you, and then I would post the clip
Sydney,
of me
what is it about?
You.
Sydney, what is it about?
No, but Sydney, what is it about?
Okay, so the question I have to ask is like, what do you miss most about your childhood?
What do I miss most about my childhood? Ooh, let's go back down memory lane.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. My childhood was very interesting. Like, I was a very different person than I am now.
Well, you were a child, so.
No. I was a very different person.
Oh, okay.
than I was now.
Okay.
I think I miss the, like, spontaneity of it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, every memory that I have that's, like, you know, low-key like a spontaneous thing, like all the stuff that I can think of, like I was so close to my neighbors and whatnot, so they were like my main like friends, and we used to do a bunch of fun like little things. Like when I was little, I would wake up one day and my mom was like, okay, your neighbor is taking you like horseback riding. And I'd just get up and I'd be at like a barn all day horseback riding with my brother and like my other neighbors. Or I'd like wake up to like a weight on me and I turn around and my neighbors are like piled on me and they're like, get up, we're going 4-wheeling. And I'm like, I'm sleeping. And they're like, screaming. Not anymore.
Not the like country girl.
Bro, I had cowgirl boots.
Not the cowgirl boots. I want to
bring them back. I feel like that would just be so
Please
iconic.
Don't.
I think that would be so iconic. I think I'm going to bring them back.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. I'm going to get a horse. I'm going to do equestrian. I'm going to do the whole 9 yards. Now, but I think I liked the aspect of like, there was nothing that was ever like pressing. You know? Like, I like how carefree it was. Like, you can be spontaneous as, like, an adult, I guess. Like, I
It's
can
not
get
the
up
same thing.
It's not the same thing. Like, thought
not
goes
the
into
same.
it. There's, like, planning. There's, like, all this stuff. I'm like, I would just get up and walk down the street to my neighbor's house and be like, let's go to the pool. They'd be like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, there was never, if there was ever any, like, drama, it was, like, little kid drama that was done in the morning. Like, I'd go home, like, in tears or something and be like, we're fighting again. And my mom would be like, I don't want you with those kids in the morning. We're on the bus and I'm like, I thought you were mad at me. And they're like, I'm not anymore. I got over it. It was, like the 12-hour drama periods. I love it. Like, there was never anything, like, serious, you know? Like, it was just so lighthearted. I miss that. I miss being able to go out and like not feel like there was any consequences to my actions. How about you?
I miss like kind of similar to you. Like I miss the energy of my childhood.
Yeah.
Like it was just the vibes were so good, and then like I was like I grew up in California, so like I got to be just like in perfect weather pretty much like every single day. I was such an active child. Like I used to just bike around everywhere.
Like sitting on a bicycle.
No, like what you're not understanding was that like that was like my main way of like transportation.
That's
like,
so funny. I would just
bike, like biking and Ubering. Like that's how I got around. But I also went to private school far away, so that's why I had to Uber. But like, this was like when Uber was like in this like bare bones stages, like
not 9-year-old Cindy in the Uber.
But like, but I would just like bike around everywhere. Like, I don't know, the vibes were like immaculate.
Were definitely different. It was just
and
lighthearted.
I feel like I will never have as much fun as I had like in my childhood.
Oh, I
now
don't think so.
Because adult fun is not fun.
No, it's traumatizing. Like adult fun is going out and doing things that you know you shouldn't do, and then waking up in the morning and regretting them.
I don't even think. I feel like even if you're like going out and you're just like, I'm just gonna have fun, like you end up going out and just like, usually I hate it every time.
Sometimes I have fun. It depends on like the people I'm around, but it's like nothing will ever be like when we were like kids. Yeah, even like little
like,
things. Like,
even if I'm around like the people I like I'm just like we really could have just stayed in.
True. Sometimes I'm like that. I feel like I haven't been out in a minute, so I'm like right now I'm like in my I want to go out. I'm in my I want to go out phase.
The thing is like I feel like you there's always like
I always want to go out until
I need to go socialize phase, and then once you do it, you're like, yeah, no, I'm not leaving the house for another 8 months.
And then I'm like, and then 8 months hits, and I'm like, I want to go out. Every time. No, but there's something lighthearted about like the people that you meet as kids. Like even like, for example, my childhood best friend. I mean, best friend. I met her when I was in preschool. Like, I'm still friends with her. 17 years later. And
that's a preschool bestie. Okay.
I'm so serious. I have pictures of us, me and her, when I was like 3. And she was my first friend. It was actually really funny. I walked up to her and I said, Nanga Def. I said hello in Wolof. Because I didn't know the other kids didn't know Wolof.
Oh, wow.
I knew English because like my parents were teaching me it. But I guess it probably wasn't as strong as it like could have been because I was also a toddler.
Yeah. Sure. Was anybody's English strong?
No, literally, exactly.
These kids be muttering and speaking like gibberish.
No, literally, and she thought I was calling her a name. And she's like, "Did you just call me a name?" And I was like, "No, I said hello. It's another language." And then we became friends. And she was like my best friend throughout everything. And like now, even there's just something about like your childhood that's always so like wholesome. So like every time I speak to her now, I'm just like, oh, I spoke to like my old childhood. But like there's just so much like ambiance with it. Yeah. And it's like everything, even like the stupid little things, like little childhood crushes and stuff like that. Like they just, everything felt different when you were a kid because you didn't know what to expect in the future. Yeah. There's just, I feel like there's like an ounce of like optimism that you like have that just dwindles as you get older.
Yeah, no, it does. It's like dwindled and basically it's just not there anymore.
No, literally, I'm just like, I'm tired.
I feel like as a child, the reason why it's so easy to be friends with people is because you have no like biases. You have no like, you also have no negative experiences to draw from. Yep. So like you never, I feel like children never project onto other people because they're children. But like it's such
and if they're projecting anything, it's always what they've seen in their homes. Yes. It's never like this is how I am as a person because of you. Yeah.
Like I hung
I'm
around,
6.
I got to hang around kids all day today, and it was so much fun because
They're so lighthearted, bro.
They're so much fun. Like they're just like, hi. I'm like, hey.
And they have so much character.
Yes,
I love it. They're like, no,
yes.
because it's like the stuff they like. I'd go out and be too shy to do, or like go out and be too shy to be like hi or say something to like a random person. They will walk up to you and be like, then just like grab your hand. They'll be like, hey, how's it going? Like that's why I love being around like my like baby cousins or my god, because they're just so interesting. You know what I mean?
No,
like
seriously.
I'm like, we get older and we get boring.
You know, we do.
And it's like, I think I'm an interesting person. But
I'm trying so hard not to become a boring adult, but
I really don't want
I'm
to.
slowly turning into one.
It's like I'm getting
depressing.
tired at like 8 p.m. Like I could be in bed right now.
But there's like nothing. Oh my God. I was like thinking about it, like my routine and how it's such a routine. Like it's like.
No, and we shouldn't have routines.
And it's just like, okay, like at this time I go to the gym. And at this time I do this, and at this time I do that, and I'm just like, ugh, and everything I'm doing is like future focused. Like, how can this help me?
And you know what the crazy
how can this?
thing is?
What can I do to put this on my resume? How can this like help me like be
for real.
like financially stable? And I'm tired. I'm tired of it.
No, for real. But you know what the craziest thing is? It's the fact that when even right now, this is supposed to be part of like our childlike memories, like us being an undergrad. We're supposed to be having the time of our lives.
Our undergrad, we've had like 2 awful things occur. We've had COVID stop the world. Now we have like World War III, the impending World War III.
I'm like, I think the last time I genuinely got up and like did something other than like the little get-togethers that I have with like friends, I enjoy those every time. Like genuinely, like it's so like fun. But after I graduated like high school, and that
spontaneous summer.
That summer was, it's just, it was so lighthearted. There was like not a care in the world. You know what I mean?
Was, like, I feel
it was
like
giving coming of age movie.
It was. What was that movie? You remember that movie? Oh my God. Oh, I can't remember it. It's about the kid. He's like a senior and he decides to skip for a day. You remember? And he's like driving around in a like fancy, is this his dad's fancy car? Or no, his friend's dad's car, because they got in a crash. Do you remember that movie?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's called.
But it was so Ferris Bueller's
Day Out. Yeah.
Is it Day Off?
It's like Day Out, something like that.
Yeah, the Ferris that summer was that vibe.
I enjoyed the entire summer. Like this past summer also had a little bit of like vibes for like I had the potential. And I feel like I have like
we didn't have the right group.
I feel like we have the potential for like
me just no, but like it wasn't the right like, because I think what made the spontaneous summer so like what it was that we were all the same age, so we all had just graduated, but like the like friend group that like you're in, well yeah, like you're in, and like I like kind of associate with some of them, like
the people we hang out.
Yeah, it's like we're kind of different ages, so it's like
we all have like different experiences, different levels of like,
and we didn't all come from like the same exact school either.
Yeah, there was, I think it wasn't that it was the wrong group. I feel like it was more like everybody didn't know each other well enough for it to have the vibes that it could have had.
With the spontaneous,
but there was also
summer,
like
we didn't have that, like we didn't know. I didn't really know anybody in that group.
No, but like when you think about it, like we all had commonalities though. Like we all knew of each other, and it's like most of the people we were hanging out with, like for example this past summer or anything like that, it was a bunch of different people from all different circles who really had a connection to like one person.
I mean, you.
I wasn't gonna say that, but yes. I wasn't gonna say it.
You were the only mutual friend.
But I feel like it had the energy. Like for example, like I have really high hopes for this summer.
Oh.
Ironically enough.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting a vibe.
Okay.
And I feel like this kind of goes back to like what we were talking about, for example. I mean, like, I feel like the last time I really, really had like fun for like such like extended period of time was the summer after we graduated, because we didn't know what the world had in store for us.
At
we were
all.
all just like, we graduated. Like, we're out.
Yeah.
We're going to college. And nobody really had an idea of what college was. Like, I feel like we all had like oh, you do this in college. I don't know. My college expectations and what my college were are definitely two different realities. You know? So it's like, I go through everything with more caution now in like perception. But like, that was like that last ounce of like, I don't want to say optimism. It's more of like naivety.
I guess. I mean,
does that make sense?
I get what you're saying. I don't know if I looked like too deeply into it. I feel like we had just graduated. I feel like, no, I'm talking about like as far as like reflecting on it. Like, I feel like we had all just graduated, and then we happened to also be at your graduation party when like the spontaneous summer and like all of our activities, whatever, commenced pretty much.
So true. We were just
and
like,
I think like it was
how
really,
do y'all feel about doing this in the morning? We were like, bet.
Yeah, it was like the right time, right place kind of thing. And I felt like, because I feel like when you graduate like high school, you leave like I don't know, I'm not saying your childhood, but like in a way, like you're done with like you're done with like that part of your like your educational experience or your academic experience. So now you're going on to something that's like bigger and closer to what it means to like be an adult. And like I feel like we were just free for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We were.
It wasn't like the other summers where I'm like, oh, I need to get stuff ready first day of like junior year.
Yeah, no, like it was just like, and that for me at least, like that was the first summer where I didn't have AAU, so I was just like, I can do whatever I want to do. Like I have days to myself. Like I can.
Well, that was like
really
right after I turned 18 too, and you know how strict my parents were. Yeah, and that was the first summer they were like, okay, do what you got to do. And I was like,
I feel like we're like gassing the summer up. Like we just literally just went to Marietta Square every other day. But
it was just fun. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, I know
it was
what you mean.
carefree fun.
It was.
And I just haven't had a period of time since like COVID, since school really started. Because I was enjoying college the first like year, like freshman year, first semester. It was fun. I was like, I mean, I still wasn't like out, but like the vibes continued. I was like, this is good.
No, the summer's vibes, at least for me, there was like continuity, because it was just like right when we got on campus, like those first 2 weeks are always like, at least for me,
kind of scary.
It was like super lit. And then, I mean, the year was whatever it was, like, but I don't know. I just don't remember. Just like recently, I have not had a feeling that matches that.
I haven't either. For a minute.
I mean, I know you say you have hope for the summer. I really don't know. I have no expectations for this summer, if I'm being honest. I just want to survive. Let's take it.
She said, I want to make it through
summer.
the year.
You're talking about summer. I'm like, can we get through March first?
She said,
and then
step at a time.
April. Like, not even that, but like, let's get through this week, okay? Let's make it to tomorrow. Let's make it to Sunday.
It being a couple hours away.
No,
you're just like, I'm still not convinced. No, fair. It's been a minute since there's been like, I don't know. It's just like, there's something lacking. There's something missing for sure. And I think we really got conned out of a college experience.
You said conned?
Yes.
We did.
Like, yeah, we got like our freshman, like first semester, but like we really got conned out of a college experience.
We did.
This is a time of your life that you're like supposed to, like this time, for real, for any other people who went to school any time before us, they had the time of their lives, like genuinely, because you're out of the house for the first time. You're free, like free.
No, we did get conned out of it.
And we got conned out of that. And it's like, I feel like you went from kid to like growing up, like grown up.
I just remember looking in the mirror one day and I was like, Cindy, you look old. You don't look young. But like, I do look young, but I'm just like, you look so much older than before. Yep. Like, I almost feel like my capacity for like enjoyment is not the same as what it was before. Like let's say let's say before 2020, my capacity for enjoyment was like here, right? You know, that's like a like yeah, like we're getting lit.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely like here now. You know what I'm saying? Like I can like have I feel like I can generally describe myself as a happy person. I just
feel like I'm always anticipating something is about to go wrong.
Yeah.
Even when there's like a period of just like happiness, I'm just like, something is about to go wrong.
Yeah, I feel like there's
you
that.
know, like I'm just like, especially like back to back since I turned like 18, it's just low key. Things have just like gone.
Yeah.
Like, and not because of things that are like in people's control, but just like they've just gone.
Yeah, I just feel like everything is so serious. Like I remember as a child, you know how everybody would be like, oh, I can't wait to be like an adult. Like I can't wait to just not be in school, and I can't wait to like, you know, just graduate and not have to deal with schoolwork and everything.
I didn't think I realized like the path for that.
I knew from a very young age it was a scam. I knew it. Y'all didn't know it, but I did.
Said, I didn't know.
And I tried to put people on game, and of course, people looked at me like I was crazy. I tried to put people on game because, like, as a child, I would always be playing around, right? You know how your parents be like, "No, you don't play around all the time. You gotta be like, serious.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do. You have responsibilities. You have to do all this." I was like, "Y'all don't look like y'all having fun. All this responsibility, all these responsibilities.
She said, I don't want to be you.
all these responsibilities you're talking about, all these things." All these bills you talk about having to pay. I don't know about this.
No, you know what my biggest pet peeve is? It's something that like I didn't hate before, but I've come to like hate this phrase. Every time I talk to like a family member who's older, just somebody who's older, about something that's going wrong or something that's wrong in my life right now, or like something that's like upsetting me, they're just like, oh, it's just the beginning. They're like, you haven't gone through anything yet. Just wait. Those words upset me to know.
It sounds like being an adult is like catastrophic.
I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what age. Every single one of them are just like, you haven't gone through anything yet. You're still a baby. Just wait. And I'm just like, if I haven't gone through anything yet, I don't want to go through it. I don't. That's what every time I'm just like, I don't want to.
I told you I knew it was a scam. I knew it was a setup, and I've been like
I swear they're preying on our downfalls though.
They had to drag me into adulthood. Like I refused to drive.
I know. You're telling me. I was driving you everywhere. I was like, Sydney, get up. Let's go. You were like, I'm not getting my license. I'm like, oh, I'm on my way. Every time.
Yeah.
No.
They drug me into adulthood kicking.
I think.
Kicking and screaming. Aicha.
I'm starting to think that they were like out to get us. They're like,
who?
Adults, all of them.
You know what it is?
I'm thinking about it because I'm like, I think they want us to feel what they went through. And that's why they had us. Because
adults are bitter.
Yes.
They're bitter and they're jealous.
I'm not going to call them jealous because I don't know which adults are going to watch this.
Bitter and jealous. And I was bitter and jealous today watching those children be so carefree. Like,
I think about it all the time. I'm like, I wish I was a child.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
no,
dang.
I think they're preying on our downfalls because it's like, why is it every time I say something is wrong? Oh, it's going to get worse.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's going to get worse.
Can't you just empathize with what I'm going through?
I'll sit and talk to my aunts or whatever, and they're just like, they'll like complain about like how like the downfalls of married life sometimes. And I'm just like, they're like the downfalls of marrying a man. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just not going to do it. And they're just like, no, you will. Because then you won't have one of those and you want one of those. And they'll like point at their kids. And I'm just like, do I really? Because it looks like he's traumatizing you.
You like look at your aunt's like bags under their eyes.
I'm looking at the bags under their eyes and I'm looking at their babies hitting them. Like they're holding the kid. The kid is just like poking their nose.
You're like, do I?
I'm like, I like them when I can give them back. So do I? And they're just like, they're like, no, I used to be like you. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. You didn't have the restraint that I do. they're like, I used to be like you. I used to not want to get married and yada, yada, yada. And I was like,
I used to be like you.
I'm like, no, you don't get it. I'm about it.
Not that I'm
Y'all weren't about it.
I'm about it. You said I will follow through.
I will follow through. And if I have to be old and alone and travel the world by myself, I can do that. If it means to not be in the place that they're at right now and unhappy, yeah, I'm going to do that.
This is like low-key me deviating. but I am not in a rush to move out.
Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have
That's
to.
gonna be another thing that they're gonna have to drag me out of, kicking and screaming yet again.
Cindy's like 35, married, has a kid on the way, and she's like, they're like, so when are you getting your plate? Getting a what? Why do I need one? You're here.
Just like the whole, like, you know, you have to get like health insurance, like you have to get off of your parents' plan. Why?
No, because I think about that. Like, I have to have
Do I have to actually pay for my own phone bill at some point?
Please, talking about phone bill. You know what gets me? Credit. How am I even gonna get to move out? I have to have credit for that. How do I get
I'm
that?
not worried. Like I said, kicking and screaming.
I'm gonna be there I'm gonna be there holding my kids.
Being like, if my parents evict me.
I'm gonna be there holding my kids with bags under my eyes. Husband's standing right there, and we're just like watching you kick and scream as they're like dragging you out. We're just, and my husband's gonna be like, how long you think this is gonna last?
She'll be back next week.
I'll be like, she'll be back. They're gonna have to change all the locks on the door because she will find a way, gonna climb through a window. You wake up, they drag you out kicking and screaming. The next morning, you sound asleep in that bed. Like,
no, because it's just like, maybe I am not like the other girls or something, but I just feel like, why is everybody, I never understood people who wanted to grow up fast. Like, I was like, like I said, y'all are being scammed.
My mom always said that to me. She's like, I don't know why you want to grow up, and I'm just like,
and see, and look at you. Look,
no,
as like a high schooler, especially in high school, because that's when everybody swore they were grown. And as a high schooler, I stayed in a child's place because I was still a child. Sorry, like all the people that would be like partying. And this one girl told me, she was like, mind you, this girl's 16. She was like, yeah, like I had a stressful day, so I just had to like, you know, pour like a glass of wine. And I said, what was stressful about honors literature?
I just had to pour a glass of wine.
For you to be sipping on wine like a 50-year-old mother of 6. What? Y'all want to be grown so bad.
I respect it.
And had the nerve to shame me for staying at home and watching Netflix, binging Netflix and YouTube. Like, I'm sorry that I'm normal. Y'all want to be y'all because y'all want to live in Euphoria High School. I'm sorry that I'm staying in my place.
That would be such an interesting school to go to.
Because I always was more steps ahead than the rest.
So this episode was purely for Sydney to tell us all that she is different from. She's not like all the rest of us.
I'm not like the other girls, and I hope that you guys understand that. Thank you very much. And I always knew
it's giving delirious girl.
There is not delirious girl.
That's what it's giving. Please.
No, but hear me out. I always peeped that people are so stressed as adults. So why would you rush into adulthood?
My capacity for stress is crazy now. I'm just like, I don't think, no. And on my, like, everybody always looks at me and they're just like I'm talking about older people. They're just like, I don't know why you're stressed now. Why do you have to be stressed? That's the thing that makes me the most upset too. My dad will look at me and be like, I just don't understand what you have to be stressed about. And I'm like,
but I also feel like when
your
they
stresses
say,
and my stresses are different.
When they say that, like, I don't understand why adults like who are like much older, significantly older than us, act as if they've like gone through the exact same things as us, because they have not. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, trust me, I've been there.
I'm
been
like, yes,
where?
yes.
Madame, you grew up in the 80s.
You have like 28 years on me.
That's what I'm saying. Grew up where?
Like, don't get me wrong. Do you have more experience than me? Yeah, you got like 40 years on me.
I'm not saying their experience is illegitimate. I'm just saying.
But your experiences are different.
For you to say, that's what I'm saying. For you to be like, I've been there. I'm like, wherever you were is not where I am currently.
No, literally.
So
because if it was, I wouldn't be here.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna need you to pipe down.
Just like, this is just a little too much for me.
Respectfully.
Just like, there's a little too much going on.
Respectfully.
I am not happy.
Pipe it all the way down, ma'am.
Like,
all the way down.
This has made me sad.
All the way down.
Because now I'm just like, oh,
I'll
never be happy again.
You miss your childhood.
I'm just like, I'll never be happy.
Oh, I'm getting it back.
Sydney,
one way or the other. I'm getting it back.
Do you care to explain?
All right, so I saw this TikTok, right? And the TikTok was talking about how, what was the TikTok? What did she say? I can't remember. Whatever.
Be delusional. When everybody talk about this whole be realistic, my key to life, the reason why I be having so much fun is I'm delusional as I can literally just breathe next to me and immediately I'm like, oh my God, he won't like, he was trying to clap these sheets. He trying to get me in his sheets. Like, just think about it. Who are you hurting by being delusional? Who are you hurting by thinking you are the shit? You gonna be, I think I'm gonna be the first millionaire in my family. Do I have proof of that? Hell no. So I say again, be delusional.
The point is,
how are you gonna get it back? I can't remember.
The point is, this is what I've determined. So you know how like I feel like I don't know how I'm gonna word this, but we just gonna make it happen. So you know how during COVID, right, everybody became like hyper aware of their mental health, right, and like, oh, mental health this, mental health that, like, which is important, yes, but I feel like people have become too self-aware, and I feel like I became too self-aware. Because hear me out.
So are you just gonna become unself-aware?
The people who enjoy life the most are delusional.
So are you just trying to tell me that you're going into a dumb girl era? Is that what all of this is?
Yes and no. Hear me out. I'm being serious though. not in like a ditzy dumb girl era, but like in the way where it's like when you're so self-aware of like your problems. It's like I have this amount of anxiety and I have to make sure, and I have this attachment style and I have this.
You fixate on it.
Yes, what I'm saying. You start to fixate on it and it becomes like an even larger problem, in my opinion. So my thing is, I am going to ignore my issues.
This is not healthy. It's not healthy, y'all. Don't do this.
I'm going to ignore my. I'm just playing. I'm like,
this is like the safe space podcast, and you're making it the crazy space podcast.
I'm like being sarcastic, but no, like seriously, like I'm not gonna ignore my issues.
You mean like some things are better left?
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't necessarily
untouched.
have to like continuously acknowledge all of my flaws. Like I get it.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes being like naive.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's kind of a move.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Like,
I guarantee you, the happiest people on this planet are delusional.
Look at. She said, "Leave me
but
in the dust."
Anyways, I just feel like I'm not really that interested in like fixating on all of my problems. I feel like at the end of the day, everything's going to be the way it's supposed to be.
I agree.
Me constantly analyzing, every single scenario of every single decision that I could possibly make is just exhausting, and I'm not going to do it anymore.
I mean, I feel like that's very fair. I understand the mentality, and like I definitely I had this conversation with my mom, and we were talking about just like stress, because I was having a bunch of anxiety attacks and it just like wasn't good, and it got to the point where it's like medically concerning.
Yeah.
And she was just like, Aicha, just don't think about it. I was like, that's a little easier said than done.
I feel like I've given you this advice before, and you were like, "This is awful advice."
No, you told me to bottle everything up until it became too much, and then I would just explode and I'd feel better. That's what you said.
It worked for me.
That's not the same thing as my. And how are you doing? As I was saying,
I'm doing great.
My mom was like, just don't think about it, because the things that are stressing you out, or the people who are stressing you out, are at home, sound asleep.
Ooh, that's so deep. Because people will really cause you.
No, because they'll cause
you issues. You can put it. You can just put it.
That scared me. I was like, what is going on? No, but like, she was like, and like, I'll tell you the whole phrase and then like what I got from it, right? Because she was like, because the things that are stressing you out, they're gonna stay there. The people who are stressing you out, they're at home chilling. They're sound asleep. And you're having an anxiety attack, you're having a panic attack, you're crying, you're not good. They don't know anything about it. That's the least of their worries. And she was like, so why stress about it?
You're better than me though.
Why stress about things that aren't going
my thing
to do you any better?
If you're stressing me out, I'm going to stress you out back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're all going to experience stress. Sorry.
Sydney's not entering a dumb girl era. She's entering a villain era. She's like, she remains in a villain era. And it's just constant and consistent.
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna cause me stress, like, I'm gonna cause you stress back. Like, I'm not gonna be the only person stressed out. Like, we're all gonna be.
Well, I'm not the only person stressed out. It's me and my mom.
Because my thing is like, if you try to put me down, I'm gonna drag you right down with me. We gonna go through the mud together, sis. Or bro.
Now you dragging people with you. This is
fam.
No, and it's like, it's definitely something that's easier said than done, because like when something's on your mind and something's stressing you, like there's really not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
But they were like, the things that you can do something about, do something about it. Exactly. The things that you can't do anything about, why stress? It's Precisely. Gonna whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen regardless.
Precisely.
So what's the point in putting added pressure on you?
Precisely. Like
what? You're gonna end up in the hospital, and everything else is gonna be fine.
Exactly.
For what?
That's what I'm saying though, because I really do feel like this whole and what's interesting is like, obviously I think everyone collectively, besides like the billionaires and Kim Kardashian, have like been through like a very traumatic
billionaires
experience.
And Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, well, apparently, because she's the woman that we need to come to for business advice. So obviously, she's doing perfectly fine. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like we've all been through like a traumatic experience, so it makes sense that people would turn to like, you know, self-reflect. And we were all inside, so of course you
were alone with yourself. You couldn't even be alone with somebody else. Exactly. You were alone and by yourself. That's like the worst conglomeration of things that you could possibly have.
We all are talking a year and a half. And we're all talking about mental health and being aware of like what we're going through. But I feel like when you're so aware of what you're going through, sometimes that's not a good thing. Because
I agree.
It's just
sometimes
like, it's
too much.
We have all diagnosed ourselves with various mental illnesses. Self-diagnosed. Like, it's not like all y'all are going to therapy, like talking to doctors and therapists. Like, it's like, I have this disorder, and where did you get this from?
That's like the one time I was in honors anatomy and we were learning about like mesothelioma, and I was like, I have that.
Is that the thing where it's like, dial 1-888 if you have mesothelioma?
You might be subject to compensation. Have you or a loved one?
That's you diagnosing yourself with mesothelioma.
I was like sitting there, no, because the people in my high school were tired of me.
Remember, it was during the pandemic where I was like, I think I'm a narcissist, and I took the like narcissistic test.
That was the funniest thing in the world. You like called me. It was a random call too. It was like out of nowhere. You were like, Aicha, and I was like, what's wrong? And you're like, I think I'm a narcissist.
It was like strong narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah. What have you done with that? What have you done with that information?
Like I said, I ignored it.
That was so funny.
What was I supposed? Okay, my thing is, first of all, they make you pay for everything. They're like, pay to hear the
rest of the diagnosis.
Yeah, it's.
And I was like,
whatever.
No, they would like tell. That's part of the reason why I thought I had stuff like mesothelioma. They'd be like, these are the symptoms. Girl. And I was like, and then they'd be like, pay for more info. And I was like, no, I'm just going to tell you. But like, we're talking about our childhood, our lives now. What are your anticipations, wants, and stuff for the future?
My wants for the future.
Other than peace.
I know, because that's like what I want mainly.
I want that.
Like
I want that consistently.
It's like the one thing that like always evades me, and I just want it so bad.
It's the only thing I want. I want it so bad.
Like, I just like.
I want to protect my peace, but in order to protect it, I have to find it first.
That's what I'm saying. I'm also like, I'm protecting my peace, girl. What peace? When have you ever been at peace? When have you experienced?
I've always been in chaos.
That's what I'm saying.
All my baby pictures are of me crying.
Peace. Girl.
There's a reason I was crying in those pictures.
Protect every year. I'm protecting my peace.
What peace?
Oh my gosh, my life is a joke. Anywho,
that was so sad. It's my life is a joke.
No, but you asked about the future and
wants, needs, anticipations.
Wants. What do I want for the future? It's a great question. I actually want this podcast to go viral.
I do too.
That's one of my...
Yeah.
I think generally I miss having stability.
I agree. That's one thing I would say too.
And so I think like one of my wants is that like I want stability in every aspect of my life. So I want like stability, like, because I do have some stability. Like that would be a lie to be like my life is completely unstable, because it's just not. But I feel like in the areas where it's not stable, I would like for it to be stable.
Yeah. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think I just want to feel as passionately for things as I did.
I agree.
I don't anymore. Like I have things that I like. I have my interests, and obviously like I have like the things that I'm willing to work really hard to achieve. But like there's a different desperation than like what I had in high school. Like, you know, when you're so desperate for something, and each step you take closer, each step you take that gets you closer to like that goal that you have,
like
you're
pain.
Just like, yeah,
my hip is like hurting.
My back is like hurting. Like
my hip is like hurting.
Each step that you take like towards that goal, you just feel like so amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I miss like that process, and I want to feel that way about something again. And I kind of do right now, but like it's not in the same way, because like I said, there's just so much going on right now that I like needs to be handled. So it's just like I don't know if how I really feel yet, but like I don't know if I'm ever gonna feel like that again.
I get that. For me, it's like, one, I really want that stability back. I actually want something like more stable than what I had before.
Fair.
I want something to look forward to.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
I want stability. I want something to look forward to. Something that just like, it's just kind of like, you know, like a purpose in life. Something like not a career purpose in life. Not just like something that makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know? Something.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't mean to cut you off,
No, you're
but
fine.
like I get kind of tired of talking about my potential careers or career options.
I'm so tired, and it hasn't even started. I haven't even picked mine.
So I'm saying it's an exhausting topic, and honestly, let's find a new one, you guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get that I'm growing up. I get that I need to be an adult. I get that I need to figure stuff out. But like, I'll figure it out when it's time to figure it out. I don't want to keep talking about it. I want something else.
That's what I'm saying.
Something that gives me that feeling of euphoria. I want something that just is like. But I also want it. This is gonna sound like a little selfish, but like, not even like a group thing, just like something for me, something that like makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know? Does that make sense?
I mean, I
like
get
whether
it.
it be a person, whether it be just something.
Yeah, no, I get
that's
what you're
like,
saying.
This makes me happy. This is what I'm looking forward to doing today.
Yeah.
This is who I'm looking forward to talking to today. You know, like I'm just like tired.
You know,
things are stagnant.
the people would say, Aicha, you can't rely on things to make you happy.
Yes, you have to be happy with you first.
You have to be happy.
But here's the problem.
Happy inside first.
Here's the problem. I am happy with me. I'm happy with me, and I'm happy and content enough with me to know that now I'm ready for something else that will.
Well, you can always be happier, okay?
No, I can't. I've reached my happiness capacity.
But no, I just feel like I agree with you where it's just like something. I wouldn't say I'm missing anything, because I don't think I'm missing anything. But it's just like that feeling that I had when I was younger, just to like accomplish what I wanted to accomplish so badly. Like I feel like I don't have that feeling
like a passion
anymore. Yeah, like I still have passion. I don't know. It just comes in waves. It's just like it just comes in waves. It's not the same. The passion that I had before, like, is not in the same way that I have it now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then
Yeah,
that was
you're
your
good.
foot. Yeah.
Not you playing footsie. Weird.
Get your feet away from me, bro. I'm so tired of you.
Weird.
I'm so tired of you.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I feel like I'm just in like this tentative waiting stage, and I'm kind of tired of being in this tentative waiting stage.
Here's what I have to say about that. I completely agree. But it's like I'm in this waiting stage, and what am I waiting for?
Yeah.
What's that thing at the end of the road? In high school, it was graduation. After graduation, it was starting college. Now it's like finishing college, but it's like, okay.
But like, okay, but honestly though, we finish college just to go get another degree later.
Like, I'm finishing college. I'm finishing my undergrad. I'm gonna go back to school. Like, so it's like finishing college isn't something that's in the near future for me.
Yeah.
It's like, it's gonna take a little bit of time, and like, that's fine. But it's like, I want something else. I'm gonna touch your foot again. I'm sorry. And I'm not playing footsies. But it's like, I feel like I'm just like in this waiting stage. I'm just like, things are so stagnant, bro. It's like, when is something gonna change?
Yeah. I
need something that's gonna change, something to just kind of make life more interesting. I think that's my issue. Because remember, I was talking to you about this. I was telling you, I was like, I think this is why I have such a problem with like everything that's like going on in life right now. Because it's just like, it's boring.
I agree.
There's nothing to look,
but
like,
I don't. So like, I feel like we have overcomplicated things because we're so focused on like every little thing. And even you can like even see it in like how people talk about like relationships and such. It's like you would just like, I'm just like,
sometimes things don't have to be that complicated.
Yeah.
I'm just like, sometimes
if she doesn't do this and this and this, if she's not submissive and practically your slave, then she's not a good woman. And if he doesn't pay all of your rent, pay your car bill,
just like, it's just not
he's
that
not
deep.
a good man. You men are too feminine. You're in your divine feminine energy when you need to be in your masculine energy, high value. I'm like, what are you talking about? Every time I hear these people talk, I don't know what's going on. I'm like confused. How did we get here?
No, literally, I watched like a video. It was like, what, 2 nights ago, and it was like I think it was on Instagram, and it was like, no, it was a tweet. It was a tweet. And this girl is like, fellas, why is it every time your kid go to your house, they gotta have an overnight bag?
Oh, I saw that tweet.
Yeah. So it was like, why do men, why do like your kids have to have overnight bags every time that they come to like visit? And at first I was like, okay, you know, I was like reading into it because obviously I don't have kids.
Yeah.
I don't have a significant other who has kids. I like, this is like completely out of like my scope of like anything. So I was like,
yeah,
I wanted to like see what like people had to say about it, people who were in those situations. Because at first I was like, I mean, okay, fair. Like, why does the kid have to have an overnight bag? And it was like, it was a lot of dads in the comment section, and there was also a lot of moms who were like, I just don't agree with like the statement that you're saying, because it was one of those like, why are we making an issue out of this? And one guy was like, you don't understand, kids take pride in the stuff that they have. Kids enjoy packing their little bags and bringing their important things, and it's like they're going on like a little trip. Yeah, I don't feel he was like, I work to provide for my kid. Why do they need like a duplicate set of everything?
But them bringing an overnight bag
was the issue.
But that doesn't mean that the other parent doesn't have stuff at that house.
That's what they were insinuating.
Well. But
and they were like, you should have. You should. And some of the people were like very like, it was very like, the sides were very polarizing. Like there was like no in between. It was very like, either you think this or you think that. And it was like, one of them, honestly, maybe I can like pull up the tweet.
I think it's like, my thing is, if they were to say like, why don't you have child-friendly things in your house, right? Or something of that sort. Why don't you have like a toothbrush, an extra toothbrush, or like something of like an essential need for your child? Like if you're co-parenting and your child comes over and like stays with you, like why don't you have those things? That's one thing. But like to say, why does your child have to bring an overnight bag? Yeah. What does the overnight bag insinuate? It doesn't make that person any less of a parent because the kid is bringing an overnight bag. But that's exactly what they were insinuating.
I'm like, I'm looking for the tweet because there was some stuff in it that was like very interesting, and it like brings me back to what you were saying, that like people sometimes, it's like we're taking some things to just such an extreme that sometimes it doesn't need to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's truly not that deep.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like there was And I see it on TikTok all the time because I feel like TikTok has become a breeding ground for like these dating people who are single, and who just like talk about the most trivial parts of relationships, like where it's like, oh my god, bro, pick up the phone and just tell them that we're podcasting. We're podcasting. Yeah, we're gonna be done in like 15 minutes. We're gonna be done in 15 minutes. What, Spencer? What do you need from me?
Sydney, I need you to wake when you get home. Like at like 11. Can you wake me up?
For what? You got a tennis match to watch?
Yep, but I need to get some sleep first, because I got my own tennis match. But still, I need to watch the match.
Okay. Good night. Love you.
Love you too.
Bye. Not him calling you.
Goodbye, Spencer.
Bro, we might as well just keep it in there.
I think so too. Like, okay, here's the tweet. And it was like, fellas, why do your kids need an overnight bag when they come by you? Y'all don't think that's weird? And people were like, no, I don't think that's weird. I'm helping pay for the stuff that they have at their mom's house. Why should I pay for an extra set of everything at mine?
Uh-huh.
And it was like, at first I was like, I mean, yeah, the kid, both of the houses are the kid's house because it's the parents' house. So it's like, yeah, I'm sure it would like take away a lot of like stress to have stuff like, at both houses.
If we're gonna like in good faith, we're gonna assume that both parents are decent parents. If the kid needed to have something at that other house,
I feel like the kid would have it.
The kid has it.
Yeah, like the necessities. It's like it was saying like, why do I have to buy an extra set of every clothing item that I buy for my kid? Just so that he has the exact same things, or she has the exact same things at my house that she has at their mom's. Why do they need a duplicate? I'm paying for the first one.
That's what I'm saying. But like, then I saw this TikTok, and the dude was like, somebody asked him like, oh, do you, or it was just like a question in general. It's like, I think it was like kind of like a panel thing going on.
Yeah.
And the question was like, oh, do you open doors on dates, whatever, or like go up to her door and ring the doorbell? She was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like that's useless. Like, why should I have to do that? All this stuff. And I'm just like, why so much energy for something?
Why is
like,
it so angry?
Yeah, why so much energy for something that like doesn't matter? If you don't want, and then even the response like, oh, I would never entertain you if you didn't open the door for me. Why so much energy for something that
I feel like people always feel like they need to match energy.
Yeah, but
like sometimes it's like the energy never needed to be there. Like it never needed to go that far.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
but why is there so much? My question is like, it would be different if like you just were like, oh, forgot to open the door, my bad, like whatever.
Yeah.
Or like whatever it is. But why do you feel the need to like purposefully make a negative impression? Like, because it would be different if you were just like, whatever, that's whatever to me, I don't care, right? If she wants me to open the door, I'll open the door. If not, I'm not, right? Yeah, but like, why do you feel the need to prove something by not opening the door?
Yeah, why did it need to be taken in such a negative manner? They could have just said, I mean, no, I don't think it's like that important.
Yeah, why is it like I don't think it's important, and chivalry is dead, so why should I have to adhere by chivalrous rules? I'm not chivalrous. Like, you can open the door for me. I mean, like,
it always comes down to women wanted rights, right?
I thought you guys wanted equality. You don't want equality anymore?
It's like, it's a door, dog.
Literally.
Like, and honestly, it just like, I feel like it's such a little thing that it's like, I don't actually expect people to do that for me. It like catches my attention if you do. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, exactly. I don't expect anybody to, like, it's like a kindness thing. Like when I walk through a door, I hold the door open for whoever's behind me.
Exactly.
Like it's just like
but my thing is like, imagine you're going on a date with someone, right? And they're in a position where they could open the door for you, and they purposefully, you wouldn't know necessarily, right? Yeah. But like they purposefully don't, because they're trying to prove something. Like, I'm not chivalrous.
I feel like it would be pointless because I probably wouldn't notice. You know what I mean?
But like my thing is like, it's so weird. Like you see what I'm saying?
Odd. Yeah, I completely get it.
You know, like, and I guess like trying to relate it back to like the topic of the episode where it's just like, as a child, you don't put that much thought into things.
No.
So why are we putting so much thought into an overnight bag, opening doors, and we wonder why we're lonely? Because y'all are crazy. That's the issue.
Emphasizing so many things that it's like, honestly, emphasizing so many things and it makes people so unique to a point where it's like, Yes, and everybody has their own individuality. Everybody is unique in their own manner. But sometimes it goes to a point where not even that. It's like you've made yourself so unique and so like you've made yourself so unique that it's like you might not see somebody who's like as you like you want somebody to match your uniqueness, but it's like you've made yourself at a point where it's like
who can
your
match
ideologies are like so like aggressive and this and that, and it's like sometimes I'm just like the energy didn't need to be there.
But not everything needs a stance. Not everything needs an opinion. Some things just can be whatever they are.
Some things I feel like aren't worth the energy that we put into the topics.
Agreed.
Does that make sense?
Agreed.
Like not like I understand why mental health like started to be emphasized because people weren't talking about it before. And I do think it was a good thing that it was emphasized. I do think in some manners I think can be.
The thing is like having like, I think the issue is like my thing is like it's healthy when it's okay. We're increasing awareness. Like, hey, you could be feeling these types of ways, and like you should be aware that that is a possibility for everyone, and that that you're not alone in that. Exactly, and like because I think with like mental health, it's like you have to be proactive. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's like,
and a lot of people before that didn't know that the stuff that they were going through were even considered mental health issues.
Exactly.
So it did a lot of good. Yes. I do. And I do see how it did also a little bit of harm.
Because I feel like once you go down the wormhole of like,
what's wrong with me?
Let me psychoanalyze every decision I've ever made.
It's exhausting.
And let me figure out all the childhood problems that I've ever had. And all of these things, like I'm not saying that you shouldn't think about like some of the larger decisions that you've made that probably have impacted you, and like the things that people may have done to you that have impacted you. But I feel like once you start to like really fixate on it,
it's easy to go down a rabbit hole when it comes to stuff like that. I completely get that.
And so it's just like I just feel like it's not worth it to continue to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what as a collective society, what have we gained from becoming hyper aware of all of our problems? Like, think about it this way, right? Have you seen Love is Blind
this season or just in general?
Oh wait, no, you haven't seen the second season.
I haven't seen the second
season. So there's this
season.
lady, her name is Danielle, who's on the show, right? And so pretty much she lost a ton of weight and all that stuff, so she has like a lot of like insecurity surrounding like body image, everything, but like she projects it so heavily onto her partner, right? But then she's like, you need to accept my flaws. Like, these are my flaws. Like, you need to accept my flaws. I'm like, where?
Can you give us an example of like
so
the projection? Because it's like,
so basically, people who watch the show, they know.
She's like, y'all know who Danielle is.
We all experienced Danielle together, but pretty much like she was sick. You know how they go to Mexico, right? And then they like meet up with the other couples.
Yeah.
So she was sick though. She like her stomach was hurting or whatever. And so her fiance
at that time.
Yeah, he goes to like the beach party thingy, right? And she's just like in the room because he spent the whole day with her pretty much, and he was just like, I'm just gonna go for a few hours.
So did she want him to stay with her?
Well,
was it a questionable decision?
Well, the way she like flipped out on him and
may have been more conducive for him to stay.
Yes. Maybe he should have stayed. But like it just continued happening over and over and over again. And like it was so bad that she like introduced herself to his family by saying like, I'm just such an insecure person. That's how you're introducing yourself to your future spouse's parents. Like
it's like the thing we talked about where it's like people are getting help now, but are they applying that help to their everyday lives in the right way?
Exactly.
So it's like you've unraveled what's going on. And that's great.
It's great that you know that these things are insecurities.
Yeah.
But now you have become said insecurity.
Yeah.
And you're
people
using
are much bigger than that.
Exactly. And you're using it as an excuse to act a certain way towards people or treat people a certain way. And it's like those people, that person is not deserving of having to suffer because of your insecurity.
That's true.
In my opinion. And it's like, and to that person, your insecurity probably isn't even that is probably not even that deep to them, because some of these things are like how you feel intrinsically about yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and then now
just
they're
because
suffering.
You feel that way
you know
about you
saying?
doesn't mean that they feel that way about you.
Exactly.
And if you continue to project it, it can become a negative thing in their life as well. But also, like, it might become an image viewpoint. That thing that you were running from, not wanting them to look at you that way in the beginning, is what you will
that's all
end
they
up
see.
having.
That's why, like, I am team ignore sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes. Because, like, I feel like, that's what I'm saying, sometimes, like, the delusional people, like, the people who, like, other people will look at them and be like, why does she think so highly of herself? Or why does he think so highly of himself?
I'm fully for all that confidence.
That's what I'm saying. But
as
it's just
long as
like,
you're not antagonizing anybody because of it, like, I'm fully for that confidence. Like, that era of, like, I don't care what you think of me, that is one of the most powerful things in the world,
it
bro.
is.
Because, like, I told you, I was, like, joking about that yesterday. I, like, have, like, those waves of, like, wow, I look good today. You know, and that air of, like, wow, you know, it makes you feel so good. And honestly, I want to feel like that all the time.
As you should.
Like, do I feel like that all the time? No. But do I want to? Yeah.
But that's my thing. It's like, I feel like that's where, I think that's the point that people should be trying to get to, is where it's like, I am what am.
I think I understand what you're saying. So,
because, like, you do have your imperfections, your insecurities. It's not necessarily that you're, like, not saying that they don't exist, but it's just like, you're just like, whatever.
So you're saying, like, to put it in, like, more of, like, a lesson of words, like, know yourself, know who you are, and be happy with yourself.
Yes,
if that makes sense. Like,
not even just that.
See your problems, see your insecurities, but don't let yourself, like, don't become your insecurities.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because I feel like a lot of times,
because they don't make up who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, Meadow. Yeah.
But I also feel like, to a certain extent, like, you also can be whatever you want to be. Like, you have that capability to just be like, you know what, like, regardless of what I have going on, I'm a baddie, so I'm just gonna be a baddie.
That's where the childhood aspect comes in.
Like,
because you have that energy as a kid. You're like, I can be whoever I want to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm just gonna be this today. You know, as a kid, you'd be like, I'm gonna be a princess today, and you just were. You went and literally, you just were a princess that day, and people could be like, no, you're not a princess. You're not this. And I'm like, I am. You know how kids be? They be like, I am though. I am.
I used to do that all the time.
I am. And they just like walk away. The people who are like the happiest are the people who have maintained that like childlike aspect of like, I'm going to be whatever I want to be and
deal with it.
Yeah. So what? Because that's what, you know who has it? Lizzo.
Oh, I love Lizzo. I love the confidence Lizzo
has it.
That's one of the healthy things to project into the world. She projects that into the world like crazy.
And they hate her for it.
Yeah.
They hate her for it. She's like, and what about it? I'm a baddie.
She's like, period.
I'm like, a baddie. Yeah. Bad y'all.
And it's refreshing to see.
Very much bad y'all.
I think the one thing that I really liked about like that era of like reflection that was like coming to light was like the emphasis on body image.
Yeah.
And how what you see online is not reality. I did on Snapchat that we went to like high school with. And I've only ever interacted with this girl like in passing. Like she's always been real chill. Like obviously we have each other added on like social media, like that type time. And she posted something the other day that was just like, it's just refreshing. It's like, she was like, I want all the ladies on here. She was like, this is not for any of you guys. She was like, this is not for you guys, because she was wearing something that was considered more revealing. Yeah. And she was like, I'm not posting this for you guys. Like, so if you're going to slide up on that type time, please don't. Yeah. But for anybody else who's here to listen to a positive message, love yourself. I have a stomach, and what about it? I have stretch marks, and what about it? She's like, doesn't mean I'm any less beautiful. Respectfully, I think I'm beautiful. Like, she was like, I think I'm
before. I think
Or
we just need to be like children again for some things. We need to just let things be.
We need to find the jovial aspect of life and hold on to it, because even when you get older, you don't have to be angry as an adult.
You don't.
You can enjoy life.
I remember I had a teacher in middle school, and she was just so like mad about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like just her whole demeanor, like she was the mad lady. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, as an adult, I wouldn't ever want to be the mad lady.
I don't either.
So
like I want to be the person who's still finding a way to be happy in life.
So let's not be the mad ladies. Let's be the happy ladies.
The cool moms.
No.
Yeah, the cool moms, the ones who are like, let's go.
No, but
do
I don't
things.
I don't even like the cool mom title because it's just so cringy to me.
I think it depends. There are some people who I genuinely think are like cool moms, and then there are people who are like, you're attempting to be a cool mom and it's not working.
We're gonna come up with a different name for it, but I don't want it to be a cool mom because there's too many frauds out there.
So true.
Too many frauds. We can think of it on a later date.
I agree. We'll tell them what it is on the next episode.
we shall. Anywho, it's been real. I have to go home.
I hope you guys have enjoyed talking to us and, listening to what we had to say about a bunch of really, really random topics.
You can't lie, this episode was fire.
It was funny.
It was fire.
And here we are.
Oh,
we still don't have an intro, outro.
And don't. Enjoy yourself, baby boo.
That's not gonna be our outro.
Cause even your boo gets a boo. Yep. That's the words to live by, child. Oh!
Did you just tell the audience that their boos are gonna get boos?
Because they are. It's a fact.
Okay.